I am 1 year post-op today, and it's kind of weird to think about because it's like, wow, like that year flew by in a lot of ways, but also like, it just feels like this is how it's always been. And so it's the weirdest combination of like every day, like getting out of the shower, seeing yourself in the mirror, feeling like really grateful and happy about my chest for me and like that part of my body specifically, but also like forgetting at the same time because it's just such a natural feeling. Welcome to Gender Mix. My name is Carrie if you are new here. This is my obligatory YouTube 1 year post-op surgery video. And like I said in my intro, like I kind of am like, can't believe it's already been a year, but also like, of course it's been a year. I feel like it's been 20 years. There are a lot of white trans-masculine people who talk about their top surgery and show videos on the internet. So like, why am I adding to it? Couple reasons. One, like a lot of the YouTubers I watch happen to be trans or non-binary people. And I actually really like when they talk about lots of things. They can be trans issues or not trans issues, and their entire channel maybe is not dedicated to like their transition, but they share that because it's authentic and it's interesting and it gives you like things to compare to, right? And also as a trans person, I know that I can sometimes get on YouTube and just look up where people are at like, oh, sorry, that just felt weird. Where people are at in their transition and say like, this is maybe what I could expect or a general outline of what to expect. But it's really important to say, every single person's transition is different because they have different wants and goals and needs, but also because everyone is their own unique person and their body is going to do different things differently and like respond to the same things differently. Speaking is not my strong suit today. So I actually had my 1 year like check up kind of thing with my surgeon today. Today's August 1st, 2017, so it's like to the date, my 1 year anniversary. So let's get on with like what you want to talk about. I'll have a little, I did want to say one of the big reasons that I also want to share, like in addition to just being like, oh, it's a nice timeline for me and like here's some photos and like how it's progressed, is because I am non-binary and I was not on T when I had top surgery, had never been on T. I did end up starting T about 7.5-ish months after top surgery as a low dose, but testosterone didn't affect my ability to have top surgery or the bulk of like my healing and stuff post-top surgery. Like it wasn't a factor. So yes, you can have top surgery without being on T and without ever intending to go on testosterone. The other reason is I am a little bit on the chubbier, bigger side of people, and the few like people I see post videos that are like, here's my non-testosterone top surgery results, are all super thin, like really thin. And that's great, like there's nothing wrong with that, that's their body. But I don't see as many like bigger people, especially that like are not muscular, such as myself. As much as I would like to be muscular, I'm not. So if you have that kind of body type, it's just another way to say like, hey, this is another way your body can look, and all bodies are good. But yeah, let's get on with the shirtless part because that is why you are here. Lighting, as always, is kind of terrible, but I'm gonna lower this so you can like actually see some stuff. Okay, and I will say, it always looks so much more red on like camera or film than it actually looks in person. Like looking down at it, it's like a really pale, faded pink. So it's not a very, I don't know, maybe some of the photos I post I'll be able to like, if I edit them, it will be for accuracy, not like, because I want you to be able to see like, this is what your scars might look like at a year. So, scar care, my surgeon was recommended exactly one thing and one thing only, and that was, and I wouldn't even say recommend, he told me, use vitamin E oil. So I got this on Amazon. I get it on Amazon in like a 3-pack, I think. It's really inexpensive that way, and I have free shipping with Prime. And I went back 4 or 5 times, let's see, I had my surgery, I went back a week later to get stitches out, and that's when he told me like what to use on my scars, and he told me this stuff. And then I went back like in a month, and I started to say like, great, can I switch to vitamin E cream? And he was like, no, that stuff is not as good, you use the oil. And it works, it keeps stuff soft and moist and like does good stuff, but it's oil, so it's oily. So I just put it on at night, like when I'm getting ready for bed, and then I like kind of let it air dry a bit so it doesn't completely get oil on my sheets. But I don't really like to wear shirts with it. Like, so in the winter I have some like shirts I just sleep in, so I didn't care if they got all oily, but That's like the only thing I dislike about this. And then just in the past, I would say month and a half to month, I've been using this Lush product Charity Pot after I get out of the shower, because I started to notice like I felt like I needed to moisturize somehow, but I didn't want to use the oil. And I like this except for that it smells like old lady perfume. It's like that really horrible powdery flowery smell of like cheap grandma perfume, and I hate it. So I'm gonna use this just because it's Lush, so it's not like it's super cheap. But I'm gonna see if they have unscented would be fantastic, or at least like not a grandma perfume scent. I don't like, and if you like the scent, that's fine. It's not for me. So that's what I've been doing for care. If you want to see like, oh, my surgeon was Dr. Stephen Robinson in Cincinnati, Ohio. I highly recommend him. He does take insurance. He does take out of pocket. You get in super, super quick with him. Consult, I think it was in April. My surgery was on August 1st of that year. And it was like late April. So like 3.5 months. His staff has been great. I will say like he shares an office with some other people, and some of those staff like could be misgendering at times. And that either improved or they just didn't gender me at all, like after my first visit. But his staff that worked specifically with him were amazing. And there's one woman who I always end up talking to that's like, I don't know what her actual title is, like nurse assistant person, but like my first interaction was her coming into the room and apologizing genuinely and profusely that their forms were not completely up to date with language better suited for trans patients and specifically non-binary patients. And so it was like acknowledging like, hey, I know this is could be bad for you to read like misgendering, and we know and we're already fixing it. Again, Dr. Stephen Robinson in Cincinnati, Ohio will take insurance, and right now is getting people in quick, but I think as he starts to like build up some name recognition, that may change. Anyway, one thing you'll notice is my nipples look like, this one is perfectly circular, although it's still got some color to come in on the top. This one is a little oblong. They were like oddly shaped, and one of them was really oddly shaped, and I don't remember which one. Like I have almost, it's like I blocked out my pre-surgery chest. So some of that is probably from how my nipples were shaped beforehand, and a lot of it was probably because I stretched too much too soon and like stretch stuff. I don't think it looks terrible. Like if you look really close, you're like, those are different. But there are, most people, if you look really closely at their nipples, like cis guys, whoever, like they're actually kind of weird in general. I do think like you see stitching around them. That is probably not common for most people. I don't think I scar badly, but it takes a long time for my scarring to heal. And like I have scars from like the 1990s that are still completely visible. Granted, I wasn't treating them, but I don't think most people would see that kind of stitching. I think that's my body and how it heals scars. Same with like, you can see some like stitches here, but the thing about it is like, these look bigger on the camera than they really are. Like there's hardly any actual stretching. And like, if you're looking at this and thinking like, what are you talking about? That's really stretched. Those are stretch marks from my pre-surgery chest. They just exist, that's part of me. And there's like one kind of rough spot, but it's starting to flatten out a little bit. And I don't know how much of that is since I started adding that lotion versus just time. Like that lotion might not be doing anything other than just general moisturizing. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's the vitamin E oil. Maybe it's, like I said, just the time, whatever. Maybe it's like a weird combination of all three. And then I do have some dog earring. Like if I go like this, it actually looks like almost completely gone, except for like you can see that poke out. This side is not as bad. I'm getting a revision. And if you are interested in that, or if like you're like, what, like how does that process work? My surgeon does not charge for a revision, but the surgery center, there's like a $200 fee for anesthesia and all that. I did not have any like pushback from him about it. I told him what I was concerned about. He said the only downside is you're gonna have like, it extends your scars about 1 inch. Look at the size of these scars. Like that's clearly not a priority for me, like, or a problem. But you know, you'd say like it does extend the size of your scars. So I guess if you were somebody who had really minor and really like faded scars, you might feel differently. And like his staff apologized, they had to charge me a fee for the surgery center, but he goes in, local anesthesia, so you're awake for it, cuts a little bit, does a little bit more lipo if he needs to, sews it back up. I should probably have someone else drive me home. Like that was the extent of it. And then it's stitched up. So he said like you can shower, do everything regularly after that. And then 2 weeks after that, he'll see me, probably pull out any like stitch things that need pulled out, make sure it's healing well. And that will probably be like it. I'll probably be done with him unless, I don't know, like something weird happens. You can sort of see like some it's almost like I'm trying to get like chest muscles built up. But that's what you can see and expect. I don't think I said, I did have a very, very large chest, like triple D, kind of pushing bigger than that when I had my surgery done, which hence all the stretch marks that already existed. And I think that also contributed to like the dog earring and stuff, just because of the sheer volume and mass that my chest was. I'm really, really happy with it. I'm really happy with my surgeon. I got to do a lot of bucket list kind of items. So like going to the ocean, swimming in the ocean, walking on a beach shirtless, being out at like a park and taking my shirt off. Although then like somebody walked by and I felt really self-conscious, and it was like she kind of glanced, she was walking her dog, and then like just went on her business. It was not a big deal. And whatever, I'm gonna throw in like the little video montage thingy of this is the progress of my chest. It won't be very long, so enjoy. I hope that you found this useful, and if you have any specific questions I didn't answer here, please just ask in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them, or if for whatever reason you want to be anonymous, I have my social media, you can contact me on any of that. Here you go. I also can wear white t-shirts like completely without any kind of like self-conscious anything, so that's great too. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I really hope this was actually like educational and useful, because that's the like 98% of the reason why I made it, and then like part of it was for me. But that's it. Again, if you have questions, ask below. Thank you. Have a fantastic week.